Imagine waking up tomorrow, and everything around you is gigantic. Your bed's a mountain, your cat's a furry kaiju, and a single drop of water looks like a crystal ball from another world. Welcome to your new life, at the size of an ant. So what exactly would happen if you shrank to the size of an ant for one whole week? Let's dive in. But watch your step. That crumb on the floor is now the size of a boulder. All right, first, how small are we talking? The average ant is about half an inch long, roughly the size of a grain of rice. That means you'd be around 200 times smaller than normal. The world wouldn't just look bigger, it would feel completely alien. Grass would look like skyscrapers, raindrops would hit like water balloons, and a trip across your living room? That's now a marathon. But don't panic. Let's figure out what your tiny life would actually be like. When you shrink, your weight drops dramatically. You'd weigh less than a paperclip. That sounds great, until you realize your strength doesn't scale the same way. Ants can lift 50 times their own weight because of their small size and muscle-to-mass ratio. You, on the other hand, wouldn't magically get super strength. You'd actually become weaker. So no, you wouldn't be punching through sugar cubes or flipping over Lego bricks like a superhero. In fact, that single Lego brick might now be a solid wall blocking your way. Next problem. The world is not made for ant-sized humans. The air feels thicker because it's full of microscopic particles. Dust, pollen, water droplets, all swirling around like giant boulders. You'd feel resistance with every step, like walking through soup. And water? A raindrop would crush you instantly. If you somehow fell into a puddle, surface tension would trap you inside like a sticky bubble. Forget swimming. You'd need a mini surfboard and a miracle. Temperature would also mess with you. Tiny creatures lose heat fast, so you'd constantly be freezing. You'd need to hide under leaves or stay near warm spots just to survive the night. Now for the scariest part, the neighbors. Ants might look harmless when you're big, but when you're their size, they're absolute warriors. An average ant colony is like a well-organized army. Scouts, soldiers, and a queen running the show. If they spot you, they won't invite you for tea, they'll attack. Spiders, centipedes, and beetles would be even worse. A house spider could tower over you like a two-story monster. You'd need to find shelter fast, maybe an abandoned snail shell or a soda cap cave. Just make sure it's not already someone else's home. Let's say you try to go outside. Huge mistake. Grass blades turn into forests, sidewalks into deserts, and house pets into apex predators. Your dog? It thinks you're a weird, moving treat. Birds? They'd swoop in before you could even scream. Even basic human inventions become deadly. Vacuum cleaners are tornadoes, a running faucet, Niagara Falls. And cars? Forget it, those are steel comets roaring by at light speed. If you somehow make it to your backyard, you'd probably find yourself stuck under a leaf, dodging ants and realizing, yeah, maybe being small isn't so fun after all. But it's not all bad. Being tiny would give you a whole new view of life. You'd see the microscopic world up close, the texture of fabrics, the shimmering surface of dust, the hidden highways of ants and mites. You could explore like a true adventurer, climbing sugar crystals or surfing on petals in the wind. And because you're so light, you could probably survive huge falls without injury. Jump off a table? Totally fine. Jump off the roof? Still fine. You'd just float down like a feather, so there's that. But here's the twist. Your biggest threat isn't nature. It's humans. Imagine your family walking around, totally unaware that you're the size of a sesame seed. One accidental step and splat. Game over. Communication would be impossible. Your voice would be too quiet. Your movements too small. You'd wave frantically, but to them, you'd just be a speck of dust. You might survive the ants and spiders, but surviving your own kitchen, that's the real challenge. After a week of running from insects, hiding from raindrops, and trying not to get stepped on, you'd finally return to normal size. Dirty, exhausted, and probably traumatized. But you'd also have seen a hidden world few ever get to experience. It's easy to forget how complex and dangerous the small world really is. Everything we step on, brush away, or ignore is part of an entire universe of creatures fighting for survival, just at a smaller scale. So, would you take the risk and shrink down for a week? Or would you rather stay safely giant-sized? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed exploring the world from an ant's eye view, give this video a like, subscribe for more what-if science adventures, and don't forget to share it with a friend, preferably one who hates bugs. Because who knows? Maybe next time we'll see what happens if you grow as big as a skyscraper.